Hello, welcome to Working Dragon Mystic, where we discuss real, metaphysical, and occult knowledge so that you can manifest real and tangible results in your life. This week, we're going to be continuing our series on the Goetia by talking about the 20th spirit of the Goetia Purson. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're back and we're ready to continue our series on the Goetia with the 20th spirit of the Goetia Purson. It's a little hard to believe we've done 20 of these videos and to know that we have a good 52 left in this series. I hope you're all enjoying it as much as I am. Anywho, without any more rambling, what do you say we get into this? Now, as many of you know, we try to talk about some key points on the spirit, what it looks like, give the sigil. You know the general rundown by now if you've been following this series. So, starting off, Purson. General appearance in the Goetia is often described as looks like a pleasant and good man carrying a viper riding on a bear. Okay, gotta admit, that's an interesting description. Honestly, most of the individuals who I have spoken with as far as working with Purson, they honestly told me they don't really usually see him riding a bear, though there is a lot of bear imagery associated with him, and even a bear with him on occasion. As far as pleasant, most people I talk with would agree that he is pleasant to good looking, but then again, this is kind of relative to what you like, right? Different strokes for different folks, so you'll have to take pleasant as a viewpoint of yourself. And the viper. There is some viper imagery occasionally. He does hold a viper. Many people, including myself, have seen him with like a staff that has engravings of vipers and viper-like imagery on it. So that makes sense as well. All right. So the rank of this particular entity within the Goetia is King. The color most associated with Purson is yellow. The incense most people tend to use when working with Purson is frankincense. And the metal associated with this entity is gold, which you see that gold with all the Goetic kings, really. The planet, sun. The element is earth, so Purson does deal with the earth. So we're starting to see a theme, I think, throughout these videos as we cover more and more of them, how the ranks and the colors and the metals most often tend to align within Goetic traditions, which of course would bring us to the Un. A lot of you all like to do these or hear me pronounce them. I don't know which it is. I sometimes think you all just enjoy hearing a crazy southerner attempt to pronounce them. But we will make sure it's up here on the screen as I do so you can jot it down. Again, Uns are not necessary for working with an entity, but they can be great for meditations as well as to utilize as an incantation should you choose to do so. And a lot of people do like to use them, so we try to include them. All right, now with all that rambling, Purson's Un would be, let's see if I can get this one. I got it here in front of me. Ana Sakor Anka Purson. Ana Sakor Anka Purson. Ana Sakar Anka Purson. Ana Sakor Anka Purson. Ana Sakor Anka Purson. Ana Sakor Anka Purson. Okay, I think I started off wrong with the Sakor. I think I said Sakha. But it's on the screen there, and I picked up on it, so there we go. So, all right, the next thing we need to do before we get into all the bullet points on why people often work with this particular entity is we're going to need a sigil, aren't we? So what you say we get that up here on the screen. Okay, now this sigil, I've always enjoyed this sigil. I love how it actually sits off center a little bit. I don't know, it's just a cool sigil to me. Okay, now with that said, what are some things magicians commonly work with Purson for. In the Goetia, they talk that Purson is great for uncovering hidden things, divinations, and discovering treasure, and answering questions truthfully, both earthly and divine. And that Purson can bring good familiars. Okay? Now, in modern terms, what would that translate into generally? Honestly, in modern terms, most people would say it more like this: enable favorable decisions in a financial matter. Oh yeah, that's good. That's pretty good. Whether you're taking out a loan, whether you're getting a job, negotiating your salary, whether you're due for a raise and you want to negotiate that, or whether you're attempting to negotiate down different prices, or you're even in a business deal trying to found a business or start up a business. Anything that relates to a financial matter, Purson is really good at helping out with. All right, which brings us to the next point, which is bring fortune to a project that is close to your heart and at an important time of change. Now, some people think this is basically the same thing as the last one. However, fortune is not necessarily financial. Fortune can be a lot of different things. It can be good luck in business. It can be good luck in court. It can be a lot of different things. And this one specifically is talking about a project or something close to your heart and is already at that point of a very important change. This is important. There's a lot of times where people want to do spell working that probably should have been done ahead of time in order to manifest or create a change or steer things in the direction they are hoping for. In my experience, Purson is an excellent entity for emergency workings to help steer your ship the direction you're wanting to go. And the more energy you put into it, the more focused you are on it, the more drastic that sudden shift and change can be. Now, it's always good advice to get your workings and your magic ahead of time, to put as much time and everything as you can into it, into manifesting the life and the changes you want. But let's be honest, the ideal time frames and everything, those are luxuries. This is the really real world where practitioners and mages don't have full-time luxury every time they want to do a spell. And it's good to be able to do a spell in a pinch, get it going, and help as much as you can to course correct to the direction you want fantastically. Now, I've actually seen instances where this one, not only did they do this, and I think it was like less than 24 hours where they talked to personas, 24 to under 24 hours for sure. But the immediate course decision as they hoped didn't turn out exact, but like 3 days later, the decision was flipped. And suddenly they had exactly what they wanted anyway. Even though Purson wasn't able to redirect it absolutely perfectly within the time that was allotted, Purson still managed to flip it in under a week to get them the goal they wanted. To me, that's amazing. Now, me personally, that's not something that's happened for me working with Purson. That is something I've heard from a few individuals, but that particular story was from a dear friend of mine that we've shared a lot of notes, and I still remember that very well because that was a big turning point in her life. So, yeah, fantastic. All right, and of course, the final point, which should be no surprise that the final point is in there, help in uncovering hidden things from you. Okay, so that makes sense. So, Purson is going to help you find things that have been hidden from you. I personally find that Purson is good with helping us develop divinationary skills. So if you are working on a divination skill, Purson can be very, very helpful in helping with that, and a great teacher of divinations. And many entities I've mentioned on this channel, certain divinations they're not fond of because idiomotor response and they're not reliable and all those things, and it can be complicated at times. I honestly have to say Purson has never actually shown that. Purson is happy to work and teach in any area of divinations, whether it's viewed as reliable or not. Purson seems to have a love for divinationary skills, and that's really cool. And yes, if something is being hidden from you, Person can help with that and help you to find out what it is and those things. Now, one of the things and the way I like to use this is if you have a suspicion that something's being withheld from you, you can pursue Person in to find out exactly what is being held and how you can uncover proof of it. The second part to me is very, 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 very vital. Never, ever, ever take your paranoia or your suspicion into a divination, get a yes, you're correct, and make life decisions on that. Because your paranoia could taint the ritual, the evocation, the divination, whatever. It can actually taint it. Even invocation, it can taint it. So if you get the confirmation, you also want to pursue and seek how you can confirm it. And this is why I love Person, because Person is very, very good at helping us to find a pathway to confirm it. And oftentimes in our path to confirm it, we confirm we were just paranoid. The person didn't hide anything from us. They didn't wrong us or anything like that. Never make an accusation until you can prove it. You can ruin a lot of wonderful friendships that way, so be careful. But in this case, I do actually adore Person because you can also get him to help you find that proof and confirm that what you suspect is true, okay? Remember that. Very, very important. Now, so this entity is going to be able to help you with divinations. It's going to be able to help you with financial matters. It's going to be able to help you with emergency course redirection. These are all really, really powerful things. And don't forget, this is actually a Goetia king. So when you work with the spirit, or you put this spirit into motion to help you direct your life, he's going to do so in big ways. The Goetia kings don't tend to take small measures. The only time I've ever seen them take small measures is when, well, a little push here and a little dot there and a little tappy tap here topples the entire thing down to give you what you want. They are really good at that. But if you're wanting sudden results, usually the little push and the tappy tap, they ain't got the time for. So be ready for a sudden shift when you're working with a Goetia king. And when it comes down to uncovering hidden things, if you think somebody is playing a practical joke on you and they hid your coffee cup or your phone, yeah, Person can help you. I won't lie. I've kind of had Person help me with a few little, it was a scavenger hunt. That's what it was. It was a scavenger hunt. And him and I had a lot of fun with it, which is fine. You don't have to have it be this super epic, important thing just to speak with a Goetia king. They enjoy some fun. But again, if it is one of those things that you think someone's lying to you, someone's hiding something from you, don't just take the first answer you get from divinations or even an entity, because you yourself could be tainting that answer. You got to show caution. You got to show wisdom and thought when you are working with things in that way. And that one is a huge one. The reason Person is so amazing is he can also help you get the proof and the confirmation beyond a shadow of a doubt. And really, as a practitioner, that is where we need to spend our knowledge. That is where we need to spend our wisdom to get the proof. Okay? Now, one thing that I don't think the modern bullet points really ever touch on a lot is bring good familiars. This is defined in different ways from different traditions. But in general, the broad term of how this works in real magic, they're not going to put a little flying cat or something on your shoulder and, cute, kitty, kitty, kitty. No. These are the spirits in which work with Person. And when you are working with Person, these entities too are a part of that working. This means that anytime you are working with the spirit, all those spirits and familiars of Persons is being put to work upon your problem, which is pretty freaking amazing, okay? It's like you have a pile of firewood, you need to move from point A to point B. Okay, you ask that quarterback to do it. Great. The quarterback's going to ask the whole football team, and instead of it taking 20 or 30 minutes, it's done inside 5. Pretty easy. Straightforward. Now, there are times if you're working on a particular aspect, you could ask an entity to lend your familiars during the time in which this working is happening. But honestly, those are pretty rare. They're not really needed because, example, if I'm working on that financial matter, why would I just ask for the familiars? That doesn't make sense to me. Because I know if I go to Purson and I say, Purson, I'm wanting to accomplish this financial goal, and he's on board and we get to work on it, I know that me, him, and all his familiars are already in line and already working. I've already got their help. So why would I shortchange myself and just ask for a few of the familiars? See what I mean? That's often why we don't hear as much about these familiars this day and age and how they are used in Magic. Because if you're already working with the entity, you've already got the familiars helping you. But yeah, that's just a general, when you see that within the Goetia, understand that that's generally how that's going to work, okay? All right. This has been the video on Purson, the 20th Spirit of the Goetia. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you do enjoy this type of content, be sure to hit subscribe and make sure you click that bell icon where you can turn on all notifications so you're notified anytime we release a new video or we go live. We do live streams on Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or anytime we release a new class or something, we always post about it here on the channel. This channel is kind of our best way to communicate with our viewers and our audience. Speaking of the classes, if you are interested in online courses that deep dive into path workings on Dragon Magic and other subjects, we do have an online school at workingdragonmystic.com. You can find a link below. And if you'd like to support the channel, we do have YouTube memberships. That should be down there somewhere too. Click that. There's 3 tiers of memberships, different perks. Many of them are member-only videos, early access to courses when they release, discount to the merch store, discount on classes, a bunch of different things like that depending on the tier. Yeah, and with that, I will stop chewing your ear off, and until next time, I'm Drake. This has been Working Dragon Mystic. Take care. Bye-bye.